Anyway, folks, as I tickle this rather cheap but decently made guitar, I would like to share with you some criticism I received, which is great, fair enough. Actually, it's criticism that's very true and something that I'm working on. And since I pass on compliments that I receive, I feel it's only fair to also report the main criticism I have of this channel, at least that I've heard so far. And this person has contacted or responded to 2 or 3 of my videos now and has made a very dogged point of it. And that is a person that continually says and it's a point taken. I do it, and I also am a teacher and am required to speak publicly, and I do it in the classroom. I'm very conscious of it. I'm trying to fix it. I try to work on it. I also noticed that 90% of my fellow teachers and lecturers also do it. It's very, very common. I would say a lot of YouTubers do it, and it's really a symptom of or indicative of somebody thinking on their feet. None of my videos are scripted. None of my lectures are written out. I put notes on the paper which serve as prompters, and then I seek the words out as I'm standing there. And I do the same thing on a video. And sometimes there's a stream of verbiage that's erudite and well executed. And other times, of course, I'm trying to pull words, concepts out of my brain in real time, which causes me to use some sort of pausing sound that normally comes across like and I realize that too much of it's annoying, and I'm trying to work on techniques to not eradicate but lessen the occurrence of that in my speech. However, I would like to impart some research that I did on this, as well as being a musician and a luthier of sorts. I also study language and teach rhetoric and debate and all kinds of stuff. Reading comprehension, writing, creative and regular composition. I've taught a lot of it, and I've done some research on this area, and what I found, and this was a Harvard research done I think in 2016, is not only do 93% of people use as a pause to try and think on their feet, that they've actually proven that people who do pause often have more to say. In other words, they're thinking more. So I'm not going to completely apologize for it. I do take the person's point. They seem to be very chafed by the fact that I do and too much. But also I am sometimes annoyed with YouTube videos, and we won't mention any names, where it sounds like somebody's rattling off a script and it's edited so that there's hardly any pauses. The speech doesn't sound natural. I mean, it's become very prevalent on YouTube, even in the musical instrument realm. You'll hear a complete speech by somebody and it doesn't sound natural. There are no natural pauses. There are no quiet moments. It just keeps rattling on, and that person has cut out all the pauses, all the all of the imperfections of speech. And I do radio as well. I do a radio show. I'm a guest presenter for the Epileptic Given radio show. You should check it out, where we do a lot of alternative and experimental music. And I used to cut out when because we tape it and then I send in my my bits to be synced up with the music. And I often, well, in the past, I took out some of the imperfections, and I noticed that my speech sounded unnatural. The timing, the inflections in my speech were altered because it's like cosmetic surgery. You're trying to beautify or make something perfect that maybe isn't intended to be perfect. So although I take out the horrible lip smacks and the really ugly stuff, the pops on the microphone, stuff like that, I leave in some of the pause words just because it just feels more honest, and it represents a thought pattern in real time. I know I'm sort of overdoing this a little bit, but I find it fascinating, and I'm wondering what my regular viewers, the few of you who do chime in, think about this, because a lot of you also have your own channels and watch a lot of YouTube videos. So how do you feel? Do you like to watch presentations on YouTube that are very polished and edited to where the words just flow and there are no imperfections in the speech, no pause words? Or do you actually like somebody thinking through their responses as they speak and can tolerate some pauses, like that one? Let me know what you think about that. It's an interesting thing. There are some people that are just better than others. I've noticed a couple of people on YouTube who I can tell they're not editing everything out, and they're just very good at speaking and not resorting to and all the time. So it's possible that you can improve your elocution and not rely on those pause words so much. But also, I think that it changes perhaps the content of what you're going to say, and perhaps there is something really erudite in your thinking that would have come out if you weren't so concerned about how it sounded, that doesn't come out because you're more concerned with sounding polished and professional. So I think it's a balance, just like most things in life. It's just an interesting topic for me, and it was an interesting critique. And I do admit that I do it, and it's probably or possibly annoying for some people, and maybe even puts certain people off watching these videos. But at the same time, I would say that it is a trait that is common to about 93% of people when speaking publicly, unless they are somehow reading or memorizing a script or editing, post-production editing the imperfections out of their delivery. Let me know what you think about that. I'm going to work on it. I try to work on it anyway, because sometimes I listen back to recordings of myself, and it annoys me too. But you always tend to be more critical of yourself than others. So when I hear other people doing it, unless it's just really pervasive and takes up 90% of what they're trying to say, I normally tolerate it. I suppose there are some people that do it way too much. They're too hesitant. They never get around to say anything. I can see how that would be really annoying and prey on your patience. But I would say most people are subject to thinking on their feet and using pause devices while they seek out words and concepts. So this is a different kind of video. I've waffled on for nigh on 10 minutes. I've tried as I speak on this video to curtail the ums and uhs. So you let me know what you think about this topic. Is it something that we can purify in ourselves, or are we just imperfect beings and we have to go with what we are? You tell me. See you next time.